This time on Bone Revivals, we're going to do a dirt cheap $100 interior swap on my 1998 Buick Regal. So this is the car that we robbed the interior out of when we were here the other week. Huh, there's no seats. What do you think happened to them?
I think you
took them? Yeah.
took them and didn't install them.
That's accurate. So, as you can see, the driver's seat's pretty much hammered. It's got rips and stuff and just a lot of wear and tear. And the worst part is it's only really started blowing apart like this in the last year. And as much as I didn't intentionally want to sink any more money in the sense of buying a set of seats for it, it kind of just worked out that way. So what we got here is a nice premium set of Joseph Abboud. I feel bad. Don't know how to pronounce names. It's just one of my key characteristics. But basically, this is a special edition interior. And that means absolutely nothing to the majority of you. However, the very few of you who watch this video specifically for this car know that this is pretty much kind of one of the best, nicest interiors between seats and everything else that you can get optioned for one of these Buicks. It's something I've always wanted to find one of these interiors and put it in this car. I never really planned on really going crazy with this car, but just because I had so many other projects, but at this point, kind of need the car, so I might as well spiff her up. So fortunately, I have the front and back seats, which is pretty sweet. And the coolest part about these seats is that they are heated. So the front seats are pretty simplistic. The first thing I'm going to do right off the rip here, as you can see, I already have it. I have the seat all the way moved up, so there's no bolts in the front. The only thing you have to worry about is there's two 15mm bolts back here that just need to be taken out like so. We'll also have to take the bolt out of the seat for the seat belt. Also just have to disconnect this harness back here, and then if you push up on it, it should just pretty much kind of slide. Oh, there, yeah. So she's ready to come out. It's that easy. Alrighty, a little while later, we have a lot of stuff going on here. So I wanted to dig out the complete harness. I believe that initially on these Regals that were optioned with the heated seats that there should have technically been a separate power source. So taking a look here, like this would be like the driver's side plug. Initially, it only had the orange wire to your right, which here I'll flip it upside down like that. So technically it would now be the orange wire to the left, the black wire in the middle there. Sorry, what am I doing with the camera? And then this black, smaller black and white one. And that basically would have been power and ground for the driver's seat to go forward and back, up and down. These cars were also optioned that the passenger seat can do that. Both sets of seats that were in this car are not. They're manual passenger seats. So those won't be doing anything. But what I did notice when I got to the wiring harness, if we come over here, this harness specifically had just the orange and black ground. So what I ended up doing was I saved the entire harness that was in the junkyard car with all the other, elements. So there's a power wire for the heated seats, and then there's also this pink and blue one. And basically the pink and blue one run up to your switch. Here's the back side of that switch. So the way that they did these, which is kind of neat, in your center console where your traction button would be, which, it basically sit back here. When it was set in, they also decided to put the heated seat elements in that little panel. So, a normal traditional one, here's the one that was originally in this car. It was just a traction control button, which, like I said, it literally sat like, if the center console was here, it sat back here behind the shifter. That changes out, and it has two connectors on the back side of it for the switches. The switch itself has its own power and ground. The power is the brown one, and the ground is the gray one. So you'll have one for each switch, so that'd be two in total. I also took the time to plug the seats in, and the heating element works in the passenger seat, but not the driver's seat. And of course, it won't work on the driver's seat, so my tush won't be warm, but you know, the old ladies will be. And, well, I guess that's what matters, right? Basically, I'll just have to go online and see if I can buy a new heating element for it. And at some point, take the seat back out, which they're easy to take in and out. And just, you know, kind of half tear it down, put a new heating element in it, plug it all back in, and it should just work. So now what I got to do is button up all this wiring, get it tucked back in its loom, and get it all taped. One thing I did want to show you guys was how these harnesses come together. So because this car already has the harness like cap end with the harness in it, what you can do is just pop the terminal ends out of it and just swap everything over, which makes everything a lot easier. So for example, here are the blue and pink leads for the switch for the passenger side. These just literally pop in and get retained by this little plastic clip inside the harness here. So you get yourself one of these picks here. This happens to be a longer one, but you can use a smaller one, but you just need to get just inside of that, pick up on it. You'll kind of feel it like almost snap a little bit, and then it'll just pull out the backside like that. Remember, if you're pulling this all apart, which one came from where. And it's also labeled on the plug itself. If you look really closely, there's letters. See how it says E and F there? So the pink wire was in F and the blue wire was in E. Did everything right? I did not. I switched them. Pink one on the outside, buddy. Why didn't you guys say something? I mean, that's cool. You're just gonna let me mess this up, sure? So there they both are. They're both set in. And then you have this little plastic retaining clip. The little slot right here that you see in the middle, there's a slot also on this side. So you see how it's off to like what would be the left-hand side. So we'll just take this little tab here, make sure it's lined up. It also has the little locking tab too. See how it locks in like that? And then boom, you're locked back in there. So we got the whole back seat out. What I'm noticing though is that the design of the original one in this car had these hooks, and that's what retains it, as this one is bolted. And these seats don't fold down. The center of it comes out, as these ones, the whole entire seat actually folds. So a little bit of an interesting dilemma. I think the bottoms will still work. It's just a question of, can we figure out a way to attach the top securely? So the bolts for the seat belt bolts are right here and here. Those line up nicely. What we're struggling with is there's, in this car, a set of bolts on the floor, and that hole lines up right about here. So what I'm gonna do is put a hole in there, oversize it, and we're gonna make it fit. So hopefully that, after we get this other one in here, that should line us up pretty dang good. There's the set. And that side. That one went through. Where's the, oh, come on. There it is. All right, we might be in business there, boys. Little snuggy snuggy. I mean, snug as a bug in a rug. If we can just get that top tied in, we're in good shape. But let's attempt to get the bottoms in. So what's really annoying about these is they have these little plastic tabs, and I think I broke the junkyard ones. So I'm gonna have to pop them out off the new seat What do you think? Not bad. Not too shabby, really. How about it? You like it? I like that you're getting it muddy already. That's perfect. Alrighty, so I had to cut this back mat here to clearance it, and I realized that there was holes in it once I peeled that mat back. So what I ended up doing was drilling a hole in the plastic here. I initially did these ones thinking I was gonna have to reach over, but then I kind of realized I could do it here. So unfortunately, those 2 holes are kind of a waste, but they're there. But what we can do is with this hole is reach up in and hold the nut or the bolt on the back side and then tighten these into position, and the seat should be tied in. The Buick has an interior now, which I'm excited about. And the seats are really, really nice. So yeah, definitely an upgrade that I necessarily didn't plan on doing, but when you spend $100 for a nice set of seats, well, you're gonna spend $100 for a nice set of seats. And the nice part is it just keeps, you know, life happy and easy. And you know, the heated seats are cool. I'd like to do something to fix this driver one, but honestly, I don't need the heated seat element part of it. I know Kira likes it, and you know, but they're a really nice set of... Really? I was just talking about how nice they are. All right. Anyway, yeah, they're a nice set of seats. I didn't even clean these. I didn't even scrub them. I just put them in, and that was kind of that. The back seat, again, that went well. I had to end up feeding my own bolts in, and I also like how these fold. It's kind of awesome that the whole thing goes, but end up putting my own bolts in, and it works. And the best part is both of these collectively can fold straight down, and you have the whole trunk space, which is super, super convenient. So all in all, I don't think we did bad for $100, guys. I think we did pretty good. Well, that's gonna wrap up this video here on Boney Revivals. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to get out in the shop and keep wrenching on those projects. You're not gonna find the genuine, beautiful Joseph Abboud seats sitting on the couch, are you? No, so get out there, make something happen. We'll see you next time on Boney Revivals. Take care.